All right, we're back after a little pause. We've been a little bit busy lately.
Yeah, things have been going on.
I mean, I've been eye-learning in the schools.
Is that what you've been doing?
Been fantastic.
I know my daughter loved eye-learning.
I think every kid has loved eye-learning a lot.
We won't talk about the political ramifications of eye-learn and whether or not we agree or disagree with it.
I don't.
I can fully say that I don't agree with it. I think it's terrible, but that's why I'm not a teacher. So
I guess I'm just kind of a teacher right now.
But
we got a big one today. We're going to kind of hit events. It's a cool summer instead of cruel summer.
It's a very terrible play on words, but I like it.
It'll work. So we're going to kind of go over the big things that are happening in the city of Vincennes because, as you know, one of the key things that we've had and the pillars of getting back was A, keep our schools open, B, keep our businesses open, and the third one was bring our events back. And that's where we're at right now.
So, and I do want to caution the people who's listening. These are the events as we know them right now. Can things change?
Of course.
Absolutely. So we're going to go through some of the events and just highlight what we like, what we don't like. I don't think there's anything we don't like, but there may be. You never know. And we'll talk about our summer events and just even spring events, starting with even, what is the one? Well, it's not even starting with. It's Spring on Main, but it's actually in June.
May Day. It's May Day on Main is one of the first ones that they're doing, where it's kind of an open house scene on Main, which is fantastic, outdoors. And the key thing that's nice about this, when we get to our spring, summer, and fall events, most of those, if not all of those, are outside. Specifically on the city side of stuff, we do those outside. And obviously, that is the safest place to be in COVID time. And even today, they relaxed the mask for people that are vaccinated outside. If you're outside and you're vaccinated, then...
I don't pretend to be a CDC doctor or expert at all, but some of the information that I saw from them is that they cannot find any credible evidence of transmission outside events of the coronavirus.
And so that's a positive.
That's a positive.
Goes for us, and obviously we were already moving in that direction. So hearing that from the CDC just gave us kind of a shot in the arm, like, hey, this is a good way to go. This is what you need to be doing. So we're already doing that. So we're in a good spot. So we talked about, you've got May Day on Main, where you're going to have some, basically kind of almost like a business showcase that happens on our main street, which is absolutely fantastic. Is this the first year that this has been done?
The first year that I can remember May Day on Main, but there has been a number of events over time that has showcased downtown businesses in different styles or events, or even with the Merchants Association. But this is a really good idea to kick this back off as businesses have opened back up and as the public is moving more around. This is an excellent opportunity to get out and see these kind of things.
And the key thing, too, that we want to emphasize is if you're going to our businesses, the key thing that we want to say is just respect what the rules are for that specific business. If a business wants you to wear a mask in the business, we ask that you do that. It's their decision, their choice. If a business doesn't, these are the rules that they're going to use because they feel that's the best for their workers and themselves.
I think here's some editorial comment on that particular thing. Just as it can be your choice not to wear a mask, it can be a business's choice to ask you to wear a mask. They are privately owned businesses, so I think that...
And we support their decision.
We support their decision.
It's their decision to make.
It's just being respectful of people's decisions, and if we believe in personal rights and responsibility, that's their personal right.
And we do. That's a big thing for us.
That's their personal right and responsibility, too. So be respectful of that when you are going in and out of these people's businesses on Main Street. It's an excellent way. Just like I think that the food trucks are an excellent way to showcase the downtown in a place. You will see a couple thousand people at the food trucks, which happens every Monday from now on until October.
Basically the end of October, depending on weather. If it gets really cold early on, they stop a little bit earlier. But last year it was pretty nice, and they made it all the way to the end of October.
And that's a consistent outdoor event. But what I would say about that outdoor event, that it showcases an area of town that may be the only time those people, those individuals visit go to that particular area of our community. And it's really nice to be able to showcase that.
The nice thing about food trucks, I told Councilman Grove this, a.k.a. the godfather of food trucks, the other day, when we were there, it just felt normal. Like, I mean, it's something that we really kind of missed out on. It felt normal. You had a lot of people just out enjoying the food, enjoying the music, and just enjoying being with each other. That's one of the things that I think our community does best.
Made the front page of the paper, too.
Yeah, yes, it did. It's one of the things our community does best, and that's get together and enjoy being around with each other. And we have a lot of these big events, medium events, small events that have all different types of themes that go on with that.
So, Tim, out of all of the outdoor events, I'm going to ask you a question. What's your favorite outdoor event that it's going to take place now?
The favorite one that's going to take place now?
This year.
You
missed last year.
That I missed last year. I know it's kind of hokey. I like dressing up in the Red Skeleton one with the mayor. It's really hot, but
blazing hot.
It's blazing hot, and I wear a really thick flannel suit as Clem Cadet Hopper, basically Councilman Cadet Hopper at that point.
There you go. I like this.
It's my take on it. The one thing that I'm really excited that we have back, and this is going to be big, and we'll get into it more in detail, is the 4th of July festivities downtown. Being able to see fireworks on our river, the historical significance of the Revolutionary War in our area really kind of adds to that, and not having it. Obviously, we were kind of figuring things out as we went last year. That was one thing I really missed out. You know, the parade, just staying downtown, enjoying talking with people. And you're going to see a lot of people that you might not see every day, maybe not every year, and everybody comes there. It's a huge, huge event. We used to sit like really close to the memorial, but now we've moved over to the Riverwalk area because that's just a primetime spot to be able to enjoy the fireworks. So that's the one event that I really missed out on last year.
I will tell you that I would concur with that. The 4th of July is one of my favorite times of Vincennes, and your father-in-law, Mark Hill, and myself have been calling the 4th of July parade for almost now, I think it's 17 years that we've been doing that. A long time, and last year we didn't get to do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much I missed that until we didn't have it. And you know, just the parade, there's the harmony, there's the booths at Patrick Henry Square. There's just a certain vibe about our community that makes you appreciate small town America during the 4th of July here in Vincennes, Indiana.
Yeah.
And I mean, the parade can have anything from people dressed as Elvis to people walking dogs or riding horses. It could be
somebody had a parakeet one time that they were just rolling in a wagon one year.
And it's a lot of fun, and it does make you appreciate all that. Now, I certainly am looking forward to that as much as I am anything else. And you know, but the big one for us right after that May Day, we're closing in, man.
We're closing in on it. Like, I mean, we're what? Next week's May, so you're going to have that event. But the key thing
this weekend is May 1st.
Yeah, so this weekend you're going to have the May Day event, but then it really kind of kicks off with Memorial Day weekend, and I kind of tie these two things together. So the big event for that weekend, obviously, is the rendezvous. And that's huge for this community, very big. I'm expecting a huge crowd, because it's going to be one of the first really big events in southern Indiana that you're going to see. But not only is the rendezvous kicking off that weekend, but on May 29th, that Saturday, Rainbow Beach is opening up.
I know. How great is that?
I mean, so that's a big weekend for us. We did just recently get an update. Steve talked to the Board of Works. There was some concern going into it, but we were able to – there was a lot to learn. There was a lot to learn, and with the tragic passing of Doug last year, there was a lot that everybody had to learn. So we had to hire some people, we had to train some people, and this pool is high-tech. It's different, which is good, but also bad when a lot of people are coming in green. So we've got that training in. We had a group in last week that was able to go over a lot of stuff with us, and I just want to give kudos to Steve and his crew, JR, and everybody that's been working hard to make sure the pool is going to be ready to run. If you drive past it right now, we've got water in the main pool, and we'll start filling up the other areas and getting those things ready, because you got to get the chlorine levels just right. So okay. I'm really excited about Rainbow Beach.
I know as a father of a small child, and you a father of small children, it is a great place and location for them to do this. And as we're talking, you're going to hear people in the background because we're at Gregg Park.
Yeah, our Central Park.
And the reason we come here is because we love this place, and to hear people and kids playing in the background just shows that, the resiliency of our community and willingness to get back out.
Or just random people jumping.
So that's good.
Yeah, it works. You never know what's... Hey, and I'm okay with that. You want to have fun here in our park? Go for it. So that kind of kicks off the summer of events that are happening throughout the community. So when you think about things that are happening, that's our big weekend. And then it kind of just trickles into other things that you will see happen throughout that. You're going to have your Red Skeleton weekend, which is one thing that's, you've got your bathtub races, you've got your donut eating contest, you've got local elected officials dressing up poorly in an attempt to look like Red Skeleton's characters. And that's been a big event. Obviously, it's a big part of our history.
I'm so sad that I've missed out on that.
You did the bathtub races with us 2 years ago.
I've just not had to dress up, so
yeah.
I'm pretty good with that.
Maybe we can arrange
that. I think that we're good.
I know somebody on the board.
So we have those things. Then there's other events. I mean, there's events throughout Knox County, but some of the other ones that are out there, we think about the Watermelon Festival.
Right.
That's in the first weekend in August. We think about German Fest.
That's back.
Which is a big part of what goes on in Knox County. Then you wrap it up with homecoming and all those kind of things.
And homecoming is going to be one of those where we're going to combine 2 years because you didn't get to have the homecoming last year to get pushed off. So the plan is to be able to celebrate 2 years of homecoming. So I expect a big homecoming year.
I do.
And you tie that into as well, think about not just that, but youth sports. One of the big things that happens in our area, too, is all the Cub League tournaments that happen here. And that's a huge economic engine for a lot of things that happen over the summer because it brings in people that have hotel rooms, that come eat food, do all different kinds of things. So
what
it's
I would
huge for
say
us.
About those type of events and what I learned when I was at the chamber is those events are for our businesses. Those are bonus time. So you make your money 365 days a year. That's what you have to do. But when you have big weekends like that, that's the bonus. And, just like what we call Black Friday for certain retailers, those type of events are what pushes people either positive or negative. They make the money to stay there and stay in business, but those events and the more events like that are what pushes them into the positive and negative, or positive, or they can be negative.
Hey.
How's it going, man? We got a random visitor.
So another couple things that are positive.
Boy, are you okay?
Kid wiped out. That's bad. I think he's okay though.
But he's a trooper.
Yep.
So another couple things that obviously are coming our way, and this is further down the road, and we had a couple people present at Board of Works. You've got the First City Music Festival where they're coming back, and then under the banner of First City Music Festival, it's Electric River Festival,
on June 12th.
Yeah, and so that's going to be
that's
local bands that are going to be here that are performing, and they had a great explanation about. We've got a lot of local talent here, and we want to showcase that local talent. So I'm really excited about that as well. And the thing that we remember, and I talked about this with Ed Ballinger this week on Knox County Today, is we went a whole year, you don't do anything, and now it's all of a sudden it's coming back, and you're like, man, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's like, we did this. This used to be the norm.
This is all the time. We like a festival and a parade, so
yeah, I mean,
we're all.
We
about
don't
this.
Need much to throw a parade, but we'll do it.
No, but we do a good job with it too. And the other one at the end of the year is the Christmas parade, and I don't know what the future of the Christmas parade is. I hope that it does come back, but we'll see. I know we did the stand-in place,
stand-in reverse parade, and that
was
different.
That was a product of COVID. And
I wanted to do that during 4th of July. If you remember, I was pushing hard to do that during the 4th of July, but I'll accept that we got it at Christmas.
Yeah, it was well received, but I don't know how that moves forward in the future. I'll be honest with you. We'll see what happens from here.
As of right now, the plan is to do that again this year. And that's what the mayor told us during the State of the City, that we would be doing a reverse parade in that light and try to make it bigger and see what that is. The nice thing is we already know what the other parade looks like, so we got a good response here. Let's see what happens. Let's build upon this, because you've got your lights that come up here, and people already come here. You can easily get people in and out of here. I mean, there were hundreds upon hundreds of cars that got in and out, and it was just a great event. It was one of those things during a time when everything was canceled. To be able to continue to do things was great, and you saw how good it was. So now the question is, let's build upon that and see how much better we can make it.
Sure.
What besides like events, and I know for me the biggest thing that was closed and didn't happen, are you looking forward to this spring, summer, into the fall?
There's just a number of things. One, I mean, we could visit parks, we could do those things. I think the food trucks being every Monday as a guaranteed event is very important to our community. I think things like the 4th of July are just very important to our community. Seeing the rendezvous back is not only important to the community as well, but that area, the grounds themselves, a year removed, we've had some issues. I mean, there were some structures that were damaged over time. They didn't have that work, and then we've had some groups have to bow out because that year off, you really lose that. So it's going to take a little bit to build that momentum back, and I'm super excited about the possibility of doing that. Pickleball courts are open, have been open. We closed those at one time. That was bad. Skate parks are open. All the things are going on, and I guess that's the overall theme here, is that we're open.
Yeah, and I think
business is open.
If you turn on the national news, and this is one thing that we got to kind of pull ourselves away from, Indiana's in a vastly different standing right now compared to our surrounding states. And then when you look at Indiana itself, look at Knox County, and we're in a really great spot.
We really are.
So the nice thing about that, and you got to tip your hat off to Doc Stewart, our health department, Good Sam. They've been able to get just a ton of vaccines out there. And one of the things is we're still leading the state in distribution rate, which is fantastic for our area. So
pretty amazing to think about, isn't it?
It's allowed us to be able to open up quicker, open up easier, that economic activity to happen. People feel comfortable going out there, because that's a key thing. People have to feel comfortable to want to go to these events, to want to go to businesses, to want to spend money. I mean, that has to happen. I have to feel comfortable first.
V, I'm going to ask my daughter, who's 10 years old, what are you looking forward to doing this summer event-wise? The Rendezvous, the 4th of July, Watermelon Festival. What one's your favorite?
Watermelon Festival and Rendezvous.
Watermelon Festival and Rendezvous.
Don't sound too excited.
I can't blame her, though. It's free watermelon. Free watermelon at the Watermelon Festival.
I don't know. I like the spring on the Main. That's one of the things that's nice that's coming back. The music. And I think the thing that's nice about that is it's the camaraderie. It's that community aspect where people are just, you can go all the way down from where Old Chicago is all the way down to 2nd Street, and people are just slowly walking up and down, seeing groups, talking with individuals. I mean, that's what our community does extremely well.
Yep.
We put these events on, we have them, and we enjoy being with each other, regardless of our political views, regardless of what we do, regardless of anything. I mean, we like being together as a community. I think we're a great example of that.
Absolutely. I don't have anything else for outdoor events during the summer within the city of Vincennes. I know there are some in the outlying communities. I know that even like Lawrenceville and Oaktown and Monroe City, and those all are having events, and they're all going to be back too.
Well, the county fair is going to be back.
The county fair is going to be back. All those events that you grew to and knew and probably missed.
I bet we could get a group like you, me, and Councilman Grove to go wrestle some pigs.
I'm not hip on that, but
I got just completely ran over one year.
Yeah,
and that's just a animal of all muscle.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's a cinder block with legs. So,
and it's amazing how. And then going under that water is not something that's like on top of my memories that I want to relive, but I would do it.
Cinder block with legs is what a hog is. They will knock you down. So,
in my bigger days, when I was close to 300 pounds, on my football playing days, some of the local farmers would have me go out and kind of wrestle around with some of their bigger animals just for giggles.
Yeah, no fun.
And they still push me around. The big thing that I'm excited about is Rainbow Beach, and I know that I've kind of hit on this over and over and over and over again. This is our key piece for this summer. This is what we've focused on. This is what we have brought Steve in for updates constantly. We've made sure funding is available for those things. We have pushed, and I know we've pushed and questioned and pushed and questioned, but the key thing is it's that important to us. It is truly that important to us that the pool is open.
And when you say us, I want to be clear that is important to our community, and we're counting ourselves as us, part of this community.
Right.
That's what it's part of, and we just see the effect that it has with kids, effect that it has with parents, and not having that created a void last year, and having it will make our community, it will be better. I mean, we as a community stepped up and voted for it. In a big
80%, 80% voted for it.
And so that just kind of shows how important it was before, it was even there, and just how important it is now.
But there's so many different unique things about the pool. There's section, you've got your tot time where the little kids are able to come in. You've got the different sections where people can dive in, go down slides, and the kid area. I mean, there's so many different aspects of that pool that service just so many different areas, which is absolutely fantastic. So I know we've pushed on this. I know we've really kind of hit this hard, but the key thing is for us for us, this is the most important thing of the summer, making sure that pool's open.
I think that, to talk about too, there will be 5Ks this year. There will be golf outings. There will be all those things that we didn't have last year that I think are going to be back. So
just go to our Board of Works meetings, and you will have, for example, there were four different events that were happening, and I think this week there was the Jesus Day Walk. Vincent's Brewing Company wanted to do a beer garden that they came and asked for. That was where the electric music band River, I know I'm butchering this, but I apologize, but they came. So
I effectively call it the Pearl City Music Stage, but nobody else does. I call it the Pearl City Music Stage. So
I kind of like that.
It's the best name out there. But.
Yeah. So we've got every week you're going to have a different event. The week before we had 2 5Ks that came in and talked. So when it comes to, you're going to have small events, you're going to have medium-sized events, you're going to have large events, you're going to have events that are associated with the city, you're going to have events that are associated with churches, you're going to have events associated with the schools. I mean, remember, everything at the schools were canceled too. I mean, we didn't even get to start our football practice till 4 weeks before school, and we had to go straight from that into our games. I mean, it was a interesting year to say the least.
Yeah. All right, Tim, as we wrap this up, what's our overall theme here? Get out and enjoy.
Yeah, get out and enjoy the city. Get out and enjoy the events. Get out and enjoy being with the community. I mean, it's something that you'll hear us preach constantly, but there's a reason why, because there's so many great things. And there's something for you out there. There is an event, there's an activity, there is something out there for you in the city of Vincennes. And there will be something happening every weekend. Besides the big ones that we talked about, we know that we're missing some.
Oh, I know.
We know that we're missing some.
So, hey, if you're listening and we're missing some, put it in the comments below.
Yeah, put it in the comments below.
And then we'll be sure and announce that and talk about those later.
Yeah. What are we going to talk about next time?
I think we still need to talk about public safety.
That works for me.
Or we could talk about the new dollars that may be flowing into the community through the CARES Act.
Yeah, I mean, that's $3.1 million coming our way.
We could talk about that and how we would maybe hope to see some of that money spent in our community. We could even bring Councilman Grove or one of the
I would like to talk about our list of things that we want to see.
Yeah, we could talk about the top 10.
Our top 10 list, because we're bringing that back. That was one thing that we discussed early on. And then COVID hit. We got a couple meetings in, and then COVID hit. And it kind of threw a wrench into everything. But we're going to bring our top...
We got 2 meetings. That's all we had. Yeah. And then our lives became COVID. We didn't get to move forward on a lot.
Yeah, and I really think that we're hitting a groove as a group. And the thing that people have to understand is we have 7 different personalities that respond to things very differently, that have a unique take and perspective on things. And it does take time to be able to understand where somebody's coming from. I think we're at that spot. I really feel comfortable with everybody. I think everybody's kind of in a groove right now. So we're going to put our priorities up on a board behind us, and we're going to look at it every meeting. Like, these are the things that are important to us and to the city. And we are going to make sure that in every meeting, those are things that we're focused on.
If we're addressing whatever we're addressing in front of us, hopefully it is impactful to those things that are important.
So our next podcast will be our top 10 list.
I like this. That's good.
And we're going to go over each one of them. We'll bring Councilman Grove in too, because he was
He was
very, very important in putting that list together. I had to dust it off and send it to you guys last night.
Yeah.
So, COVID
threw a wrench in about everything.
The Rona was rough.
The Rona has been rough. So, all right. Well, you've been listening to Mark and Tim on our First City
Podcast.
Yeah, nice. So, until next time, thanks for listening.
Just look for the Miami Vice looking picture and just click listen.
We love 80s retro.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things. So,
right.
we'll see you next time.
Bye.